It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and let's have a look now at KNT Netball. Round 10 of matches played last week. We're ticked over the halfway mark in this season. Can you believe that? Joining us on the line is Sally again to go through what happened last week and what's coming up. G'day, Sally. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Excellent. Big game, big round of matches, I should say, last week, and a couple of really big games that were played, in particular the Mandala Maricopa game, which is where we will start. It was Mandala away from home getting the job done by 11 goals, 56-45, a high-scoring clash, a big win for Mandala.
Yeah, we probably picked this one to be the match of the round and obviously lived up to that. We probably thought Maricopa could have won, but it was a great win here by Mandala to keep their finals hopes alive. And they just, from the get-go, had the lead. And, yeah, so 4 goals up at the first quarter and just kept on going on. So great for them to run out that, using their height, their advantage to get a win by 11 goals.
Yeah, really important win for Mandala. They've got a game in hand on Maricopa, so they could sneak into the top 5 on the back of that win. So the old-fashioned 4-point game, much-needed win for them. Also an important win for Keith over Bywater. Any win, I guess, in a competition like this is an important one, but this one in particular for the Crow Girls against Bywater just keeps them cracking along at the top of the ladder.
It does, and we thought they'd win. I thought it was a bit closer than what I expected. So I think Kybe got within 13 goals was a great effort there, I think. So we know Keith are a really good side and have been playing great netball. So, you know, Charlie Hodges for Kybe playing very well, missing 5 goals for the game. So a great game by her and a great win by the Keith Crow Girls again.
Yes, it was. We move on now, and a couple of larger margins here to talk about. First of all, Pinola. They had a big win over Bordertown, 75-43. I don't think the Bordertown crew would be all that happy with that scoreline.
Yeah, very big win here by Pinola. So, yeah, I think they had a 20-goal lead at half-time or something. So, yeah, it was a huge game here. 43 goals isn't too bad, and they came back well in the last quarter, but again, as we've mentioned most week, April Possingham from Pinola shooting very, very well with 66 of those 75 goals at 90-odd% accuracy. So another great game by her.
Yeah. And in what was, I won't say top versus bottom, but one of the top sides against the bottom side, you'd expect a big margin. And we saw that with Lucendale against Padthaway in the final game there. Over 50 goals the difference, 76-24.
Yeah, another huge game here. To get 70 goals on the board from 2 teams last round, just a phenomenal effort. So that's just a lot of goals in a game of netball. But, you know, a big win here on the Lucendale girls. They're looking good this time of the year, halfway through. And with great play all over the court, they played a great team game to get a really good win.
One of the big chances, there's no doubt about that. We head into round 11 of matches this weekend, and if you have a look at the ladder and some of the matchups, there are some big games for us to talk about this weekend, and we'll start with Border Districts, who will take on Bordertown. Of course, Border Districts, top of the ladder. Bordertown yet to have a win. They've been close at times, Bordertown, just can't crack it.
Yeah, they haven't been disappointing. They've obviously haven't had that win yet, but some of their games have been quite good. They've been competitive, which is what we like to see. But Borders, obviously, sitting at top of that, they had the week off last week. They'll just be raring to go, and they'll have probably another good win this week, I would imagine, over in Francis.
You would think so. This is a huge game, this one, for both clubs' chances. Bywater at home to Maricopa. It's must-win stuff for both clubs. Oh,
absolutely. Maricopa probably having that loss last week, you know, they've just gone down a little bit in that pegging order. So only, obviously one game clear in that top 5 now. And Kybe, they've still got that chance. They're only 2 games out of the 5. So they need to win this game to keep their finals hopes alive. When they met in round 2, it's only 15 goals of difference. So it could go either way, but I think Maricopa will redeem themselves and come back fighting.
You would think so. Mandala, plenty to play for them at the moment. They'll take on Padthaway, and you would expect to beat them fairly comfortably.
Absolutely. They did last time. I think it was nearly 50 goals of difference in that game in round 2. So they obviously came off a great win last week. Padthaway, struggling to get some goals on the board. So I think they'll struggle probably again this week, and Mandela will have a good win to keep their finals hopes alive.
Yes. But the match of the round, 2nd versus 4th on the ladder. This will be a beauty. Keith taking on Pinola. Keith, obviously just cruising along at the moment. Haven't had a loss to speak of at this point. Pinola really need to win to keep in touch with those in the top 2. So this is going to be a big game.
Oh, absolutely. Match of the round, this one here. And at Pinola, I'm presuming the weather's not going to be netball friendly, so it will be outside in some cold and probably some wet. So hopefully we see a great game of netball. It wouldn't surprise me if Pinola get the upset in this game, because if they want to be playing in that grand final at the end of the year, they'll need to be winning games against Keith. So I'll maybe just a smidgen, I might just put my eggs in Pinola's basket this weekend.
Ooh, a bit of an upset. Well, we'll see how we go. Should be a cracking game of netball, that one. But look forward to catching up with you next weekend to find out, or next week, next Friday, ahead of next weekend, to find out how those matches went. And until then, enjoy the weekend's netball. Sally, anything else before we wrap up?
We'll just have a quick shout out. We've got a big 250th game here to Mandala's Rachel Colville. So congratulations to her and hope she has a great game.
Spot on. Good luck to her and good luck to everyone having a game this weekend in KNT Netball. Sally, enjoy the weekend.
Will do. You too.